This for all you fools that don't know what's up yet.
All right, what's the deal, man? This is the Hub and the
Dub, Next Level Podcast.
I'm BG Knockout.
Redmann DaLoc.
Redmann DaLoc. And we sitting here with Dresta, the gangster Dresta, however you want to say it.
My face.
And we going to get back into some of these easy stories.
Yeah, let me go ahead and ask y'all. Look, I know y'all told me about that. I went on Ruthless. How did y'all get, so what label did y'all assign to? If it wasn't Ruthless,
we was signed to Ruthless. This one, we was on a subsidiary of Ruthless, which was Toenail Records. That was Jim Bob and Big Daddy Pat. Okay. So what happened was they, in the midst of us, doing the record coming out is popping. They fell out. They was at odds. They was at odds, and I believe, like I said, it was them wanting a bunch of money from Eazy, and Eazy just didn't want to just get him no money without, going through the steps of, putting us together in the right packaging like we needed. And so we ended up being in a contractual bind. So what we needed was somebody to help us out, because we set for a year. You got to think, Real Compton City G's came out. It boomed, bro. We touring with this nigga. Every time he go on tour, we with him. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we contractually stuck on this contract for a whole year without putting out a record.
And it's a whole lot of business that we don't know.
And it was a lot of business
a whole lot that we don't even know. We don't even know what we really entitled to. You know what I'm saying?
Still to this day, though, for real. So we don't even know if we made, because we still get royalties, but we still don't know if it's the royalties we should have been getting. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
and this is where I started having odds with E about certain things, because I'm a questioner. I want to, I put trust in you, nigga, to learn from you. You know what I'm saying? And what it is, to be realistic, it was some of my youth, my inexperience, that I saw some contracts that my company was requesting distribution, through Eazy, but in the contracts they had certain things written in the contracts that was for them, incentives, Mercedes-Benz incentives and stuff like that. But none of that mentioned us. You know what I mean? So I had a problem with that, because I felt like we should have been included in those incentives. You know what I'm saying? So. That's where really a lot of the conflict started. And like I said, it could have been my youth and me not knowing business, but I felt like it wasn't the right thing to do from the type of relationship we were supposed to have as business partners. You know what I mean?
See, you just had you had your Mr. Think a lot moments, and
I'm just questioning stuff, bro, because you got to understand this part. So our love for the music, we was gonna do music irregardless, whether we was signed to somebody or not. Why we still do it? You feel what I'm saying? But once it became business, then it started being about business. You know what I'm saying? And then when there was some things that to us that was questionable, whether we knew what we was talking about or not, we had to see what it was.
We had the right to question.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly. And see, man, my thing, that's where it goes for me, where I had certain big homies that would take advantage of young niggas and make them
we don't honor them type of niggas. I've never honored them type of niggas.
You know what I mean?
Never.
You feel me? And that's my whole thing. I see I felt that what y'all went through in that sense. You know
that's why everything is balanced, because everything is balanced. Even in the ghetto, you got a certain amount of niggas who gonna operate a certain way, and we know who they are. We know how they operate. You can see it. You know what it smell like. You know what I mean? But then it's another portion of niggas that's operating a different way that people don't talk about. And some of those are some good niggas. And some of those niggas saved a lot of lives just by being the examples that they are. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I never can honor the scandalous niggas. I don't honor scandalous niggas.
Me either, man. I can't, I don't.
But let's get back into some Eazy-E days, man. Let's talk about like the making of the record, like some of the things you just remember, because we did a lot of songs in there with him. We did songs with Menage a Trois. We did songs. We did songs for Yella's little compilation.
And for Menage a Trois.
You know what I'm saying? For all that. With Silky Fine. You know what I mean? GBM. I even did songs with Bone that never came out.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. But let's just get back into your memory of the days of just being in the studio with this nigga and just it
was fun.
Some of the stuff.
It was like I ain't never. I'm the big brother. You know what I mean? So he was like a big brother to me, as well as the other people that I dealt with on the labels. I looked up to them dudes. So just to have them moments moments with E where we had a lot of real moments. You know what I mean? Where he gonna wrestle with you, and you know what I mean? Just you know, it was stuff that nigga was just you too little. But, you know what I mean? But he gonna try.
He gonna try you though.
You know what I'm
he gonna try you.
So those was like my fondest memories of the nigga that he gonna try because he liked it. That he was into that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So just having those moments, you know.
Yeah, them niggas used to wrestle, bro. He used to climb on this nigga back. He used to just jump on him, and Dre just be like, "No, nigga," pull him off. Like, they was crazy.
That was the best part about that little dude.
It was crazy, man.
You know? So he was all the way down.
No, bro, he was a good dude at the end of the day because you know he could have took full advantage of us, bro, and he didn't.
Nigga learned a lot from that nigga about just how to conduct yourself, and you know, on this level, you know, in the celebrity level. You know, the nigga go to the restaurant and purchase. He'll order 5 main courses and 7 desserts and every drink on the menu, and just sip a little bit out of each one. Take a little nibble here, and you know, just crazy, weird little quirky stuff he did with his money. You know
That's
what I mean?
all that money he had.
The money.
Where he used to keep his cash at, Dre?
Well, in the sock, always in the sock.
And he'll have only like about $1,000
rolled around the inside of his hat.
Inside of his hat, he only smoked licorice papers.
Licorice papers.
Yeah. Licorice papers, right?
Ooh,
and then he had 20 million credit cards, though. Yeah. His wallet was nothing but credit cards, bro. And he probably had a credit card for every single thing in the world.
Yeah.
You understand? Like he was a different kind of dude, and he was a multi-millionaire. So money was not. And then listen, he had a 600 Benz, right? He had the big body 600 Benz. And what, this was 93, 94, right?
He had that before we met him, though. He already had that.
All right, but then he had the ADAT machine in there.
The 850 and the ADAT machine.
So he had an ADAT, like, can you imagine? Like, how did they do that? Do you know what an ADAT machine is?
Yeah,
the little thick tapes, like these tapes is this big, but they had the highest quality of sound and things like that. This nigga had, the machine is big, bro. Like, how did they put this in this Mercedes Benz? Like, this nigga had it custom. Like, he was a different dude, man. His house, what about his house in Calabasas with the thick carpet?
You know what I remember about the house? I was always impressed about that house was the dining room table. Yeah, it was a big dining room table. The legs on that motherfucker was I mean, on that, forget my language. Yeah, the legs was thick, and it was a big long table. But it looked like a nigga took a sledgehammer and hit it, and it just shattered.
It shattered all.
And then they captured it in the shatter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was most impressed with, because I never saw something like that. Then he had
the Jason mask on the door, huh?
Yeah, and he had the little Chucky doll. He had all the little evil dolls on the back, on the little table behind the couch.
He was a unique dude.
Yeah, man. I remember going to Mardi Gras, and he wanted to go in the voodoo store, and I'm like, nigga, I'm not going to that store with you, nigga. You go in and do all you want to do. I'm going to be right out here watching some girls get some beads for shaking their. Yeah. Why you want to go in the voodoo store? I'm not going to no voodoo.
He had a little evil streak, man. I don't know what he was so fascinated with.
He liked that. He went in that voodoo store, man, and stayed in there for quite a while.
He loved that shit, man.
Yeah, the fascination of the unknown is gold.
What about some touring times, bro? Like, what you remember? Can you remember the first time we went on tour and some of our experiences?
The first thing I think I remember was the first time he missed words. And then you know, and I would be backing him up on it. So then the next time we did it, I noticed he missed the same words every time. Okay. Then it was about 5 different songs where he would miss the same lines on those songs every time. And so I started learning. That's when I started learning how to to back him up the right way to make sure. You know what I mean? I catch him on those lines to make sure he don't forget those words.
Right. I remember we both used to do that.
Yeah. So that
I remember some of the experiences, like when we had to whip out on certain people. Niggas jumping the gates and the wall. Like, it was like male groupies too. So you know how you have like, man, this on Everything I Love. So females be the main groupies for artists and shit, but it was a lot of males too. So they trying to come to the hotel. No, it was just they just want to be around. They just want to be in the mix. You feel what I'm saying?
We had gimmicks before we do the show. Every time we leave from the hotel to go ready to do sound check, we all take some hotel business cards. Yeah. So when we up there performing, we gonna give business cards to certain, little women in the crowd.
Okay.
And then sometimes we'll yell it out over the mic too. That was kind of like a mistake sometimes.
I had my little player move though. I used to take my sweat towel. I kept my sweat towel for the one woman that I wanted. And I wasn't gonna let that sweat towel go until I found that one I was looking for, and she let me know she was looking for me too. You know what I'm saying? Man. And that's who ended up with that sweat towel. Or either a Dresta cap. One or the other.